Hi guys, this is Christy Fulk with Create with Christy. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the US. Well, I'm back with my 12 weeks of fall and Halloween. This is week number 11. Sorry I'm a little late getting this out. I'm about a day late, but I hope you'll still enjoy the card. Now, I'm sure you've seen easel cards. This one is a super easy one. Here it is. So it's like this when you have it closed and you put it in your envelope. And then you just slide it up here, and that's what it looks like when it's standing up. And I used a Christmas set with this, and you might be able to guess which one it is, but I love it when I can come up with a card that uses a stamp set for other than what it's intended for. I definitely will be making Christmas cards with this, but my first one with this set is a fall card. So I hope you enjoy it. Now, if you'd like to stamp along with me, just look down in the video description below and click on that blog post link. The blog post will have the supplies that you need, the supply list, and it'll have all the dimensions you need to make this card. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, first off, I want to show you the main bundle I'm using. This is the Christmas season bundle. It's in the July to December mini catalog. And we've got this set, and these are the dies that go along with it. The die set is called Seasonal Labels, and if you purchase these together, you save 10%. Now, the stamps I'm going to be using the two smaller pine cone sizes, this leaf one here, this one, and this one. And I believe that is it from this stamp set. And then with the dies, I'm going to need the big label die and the medium size label die. We're going to need this die here. Let me get these back in the picture. I realized I got them out. This one here, this one, and this one. And I do believe, yep, those are all the dies and the stamps that you're going to need. But I'm also using one other stamp set. Since there was no greeting in the Christmas season stamp set, I'm going to use the So Thankful for You from the Pretty Pumpkins. And this is also in the July to December mini catalog. Okay, first off, let's get some stamping done. I want you to grab that basic white piece that's 8.5 by 2. And we're going to stamp all the leaves on this and the pine cone. So let's grab this leaf stamp here with the Cajun Craze ink pad. And we will stamp this over here to one side. We're going to get all of them on this one sheet. So kind of angle it so it fits. Okay, I love, this is also a distinctive stamp set. So you get some light version, just stamping it once, you get light shading and dark shading. Love that. Then we're going to grab the Merry Merlot ink pad and the long leaf stamp. I love this Merry Merlot color. Now the color combination I'm using comes from the Beauty of the Earth designer series paper that's in the annual catalog, and that's going to be the designer paper used on this card. So here we've got this one there, and then we've got one more leaf, and then we've got the acorn to do. So we need to grab our old olive and this small leaf stamp here. And we'll stamp it right about here. And last but not least, we've got the pine cone. Now this one is a two-step. So I will always start with the dark color first. So this is one that's got a little more detail to it. And there are two sets of two stamps for acorns. There's a large acorn and a small acorn. So we're going to go ahead and stamp that. Now the reason I do it with dark is because it is so much easier to line up when you grab the light one with the cinnamon cider. So this one's got a little more to it. I don't know if you can tell that. This one has a little more lines, and this one's a little bigger too. So that's definitely the outer one. Take the cinnamon cider, and you'll know what I mean here in a minute when I say it's easier to do it with the dark. So now I'm going to line this up, and because I'm using the lighter version second, I can see all those dark images in there. You see that? So that way it makes this so much easier to line up. Hold that down. There we go. So we've got our pine cone stamped. Now I have one more thing to stamp. So I'm going to grab the other piece of Whisper White that is 4 by 2 1/4. And I'm going to grab my Early Espresso ink pad and that Thankful for You stamp from the Prettiest Pumpkins stamp set. And I'm going to stamp this near the right side, like so, because we're going to be cutting this out with a label die, and it's going to be on the right side. So let's go ahead and get the die cutting machine out, and we'll get some die cutting done and some embossing. Okay, to die cut with our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, you need the platform number 1, the base plate, then the die plate number 2, and a standard cutting plate number 3. I'm going to grab this one right here, and we'll grab the coordinating dies. Let me get this dish over here where I can see it. I had it covered up there. Now I'm going to put this one on here. This one goes on here. This one goes on here. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this tape. I have found some Post-it tape on Amazon. I'm sure they've got office supply stores too, but it works really well. It's got the same type of adhesive that's on Post-it notes, and you know how easy those are to take off a paper. So this holds it down for me while I, need to push that on a little better. Get that on there. I'm going to go down over here. Make sure I push it down on the image inside and on the outside. That way it'll hold the die. Here's another piece. I love how easy it is to line these up. You just make sure that image is inside the opening and you don't see any white or the cardstock around the edges because it's supposed to fit in perfectly. And here's another one for the green one. Make sure that the stem is down here and you're not seeing white down here, because you can get those leaves all lined up, believe me, and then the stem's actually not right. So we'll go ahead and put this down. Make sure I pushed it down inside the die, because if you don't get it inside here, it is going to move around on you. Now we're going to grab that acorn. Oh, I forgot to get the acorn die. I knew I was forgetting something, so let's find that one. Okay, we want the smaller one. Here's the bigger one, so we want the smaller one. Sorry about that. I knew I was forgetting a die when I was getting them out earlier. Okay, so we'll put this on there. Get it lined up. Looks pretty good. Get that tape on there. Now make sure that all of your dies are on that platform, that you don't have anything like this. I can have hanging over a little bit. I want to make sure all those dies are in that sandwich. Put another standard cutting plate on there and run it through. I love it when I can use just die cut at least 4 things. This is nice with one swoop. There's that one. And then we need the pine cone. If I can get a hold of it. There we go. Get this one out. The tape's releasing. I'm very, very easy. I love this tape. Now you can use washi tape, and painter's tape you can do as long as you're really careful. Definitely don't use masking tape, because that will tear up your cardstock for sure. Okay, get all these pieces of tape back on here because I can use those over again. I've been able to use the tape over a few times, which is nice. Okay, so we got all the dies out of the way on that one. Now we need a piece of old olive. This one is a 4 1/4 by 3 1/2. Get this back over here. Let's see if I can do both of these. I may not. Oh, I can. Cool. Okay, we're going to get that old olive on there. That gets the large label. And I'm not going to worry about putting tape on that one. I might put tape on this one because I don't want it. I want my thinking. So thankful for you to be in the right spot. So I'm going to kind of put this over here to the side. That looks pretty good. And since this one's kind of long, I think I'm going to put 2 of them so it doesn't turn on me. Okay, make sure those dies are on this platform really good, because if they're not, I'm not going to get the pressure I need to get these to die cut right. Put another standard cutting plate on top. Now this will be all the die cutting, and then we're going to do some embossing. So we've got this label, and we have this label. They're kind of like nesting together. I like it when we have dies like that. Okay, I'm not going to we'll take the tape off later, so you don't have to watch me do that. But let's get this ready for embossing. We're going to be using a 3D folder. So all you need is a base platform. Take away the die platform and the 2 standard cutting plates. And I'm going to be using the Time Worn Type 3D embossing folder. So it's a thick one. And we're going to take this old olive label, put it right inside here. I want these to be straight, so I'm going to line the bottom of the die cut with that line. Put it in fold first. It always works better if you can do it fold first. And then you just need the specialty plate that also comes with our machine. You get all the plates you need to die cut and emboss. Run this through. And we've got this embossed. So we're done with the die cutting machine, and now we'll put this card together. I'll teach you how to do the easel part of the card, and we'll finish the card. Okay, we're going to need to do a little bit of scoring, but not much. So I'm going to use my paper trimmer. So I want to get the dark one out of the way because that is the actual blade. I want just the scoring tool. And we're going to score this at 2 1/8. So you go the 2 inches, count over 2 little notches. And that'll get you to 2 1/8 because there's 16 notches there. Do this. Then we're going to go to 4 1/4. So there's the 4 1/4 mark. And that's all the scoring we're going to do. So we'll get this out of the way. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and fold this at the 4 1/4 inch mark first. So it's going to be like folding it in half. Let me get these back here so I can get my bone folder. Get that creased. And then this one here is going to go like so. So they're actually folded the same way. Okay, so that's going to make the easel part. Now, is that simple or what? Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to grab 2 pieces of the Beauty of the Earth Designer Series paper, and I'll call DSP here from now on. These are both the same size. It is 5 1/4 by 2. I'm going to be putting one here and one down here. And let me grab my seal. The trick is we want them to meet in the middle, so I'm going to have them line up right here at this score line. Oh, let me get this going again. This one's about out. Let's see if we can make it through the video. I like to live on the edge, I guess. So I'm going to turn this upside down. I want this to be on the bottom part. I'm going to line it up with that score line. Okay. There we go. And now we're going to do that with the wood one the same way. Get the adhesive on the short ends, some on the long. And then I'm going to line this right up against that. It should be right there on the score line. Okay, so now when it folds, it'll be like that. Okay. Now, when I was looking at this label, I liked it, but I thought it needed a little more distressing to it. So I'm going to grab a piece of grid paper and my old olive ink pad and a blending brush. So what I'm going to do, just to darken this up, and it's also going to show off that embossing a little better. Lightly go over this. I'm not going real hard. And this is just going to darken it up a little bit. You can definitely see up here how it's starting to show the embossing a little better. But I just thought this helped a ton doing this. And it gives this a little more dimension, has a little more color to it, shading to it, I should say. There we go. So now we've got that ready to go. But doesn't that just make it the embossing pop? I love that. Okay, so now we will grab that Thinking of You label. We're going to put that right here across the middle. Get some on each end. I'm going to put this right here. I'm going to line these humps here with these middle humps. Really, all the humps kind of line up. And just get it centered as best I can. It's really not hard to do. The center ones are the ones you really want to look at that you get lined up. Because these are kind of shorter and they don't quite line up in there, but it looks right. So we've got that ready to go. And now we're going to put some of these leaves on here. And I'm going to lay them down before I put them down just to get an eyeball how I want them to look. Okay. That looks good to me. So what I'm going to do, let's grab this Cage and Craze one. We'll put some seal on some of the leaves. And be careful that you don't pull too hard because you don't want to rip these leaves off the stem here. I need a little bit more on that one. Oh, I don't think I got any on there. Hold on. There we go. I needed to wheel it again. And now we're going to put this one down here, like so, kind of angling it towards that greeting. But I want that stem to be near the edge here on the left side, okay? I'm not pushing it down real hard in case I need to move it. Because I don't know about you, sometimes when I put things down, I end up needing to move it. And the nice thing about the seal, you can move things for like the first 10 minutes of it being down, but it still does help if you just lay it down rather than push it down all the way. And I kind of like that angled up like that. Oops, got a little bit of adhesive on my finger. They don't have to quite meet in the middle, just close. And then we're going to do this olive one. This one's a little easier because it's got a great big section right here to put the adhesive. I'm not going to worry about those little leaves. Put that about right there. I know it looks a little bit funny right now, but we're going to take our little pine cone here. We're going to put 2 dimensionals on here, one on the top, one on the bottom. Now to start off, I'm only going to take the backing off of this one here on the end, okay? Actually the top. The bottom paper we still want to keep on there because that's going to be the only one that goes on this label right now. So we kind of do that. So we've still got this one showing. And then I'm going to put some adhesive only on the bottom. So make sure you turn this over right. We know this is our bottom, so I'm going to turn it over this way. So this is the section I want to have adhesive. I don't want any on the top. So I'm going to, here's my center, so I'm going to go a little bit under the center, go all the way across. I'm going to put a little extra on since it's only hanging on twice. The top half is hanging on, or the bottom actually. Okay, so we've got, hopefully you can see that. There we go. I think you can right there. Then we're going to bring the card base in. And we're going to center this. And I'm looking at where these 2 DSP pieces meet. Make sure this looks straight down here, and it does. Because you can't really see the little hump here because of our pine cone. So I'm making sure this looks straight here. There we go. Oh, and I forgot something. Well, now I can show you how this works. I just put this down so I can take it off. So if you're using steel, you'll be able to. I'm sorry about this. Hopefully you can still fold this up and take that backing off. I meant to do it before I put it down. Now we'll put it on here. If you forget, to be honest, I think it's still going to stay on with no problem. So just as long as you've got your dimensional sticking up here, you're fine. And there we've got that. But see how it keeps sliding down? We need to finish that up on the inside. So I want you to grab a piece of basic white. This is 5 1/4 by 4. And then a piece of Cajun Craze. This one is 5 1/4 by 1. And another piece of that Beauty of the Earth DSP. This is 5 1/4 by 3/4 inches. We'll put adhesive across here. I always make sure, especially if I have short ends, I get it all the way across those ends. And I'm just going to put some across the middle here. I'm going to line this up with the edge of the Cajun Craze here. That looks pretty good. And before I lay it down and kind of moving it around, there, that looks straight. Oop, I made this one too long, didn't I? Let's fix that. Grab my paper trimmer. Go to the 5 1/4. Yeah, this was a 5 1/2 inch. I forgot that when I was cutting it. I forgot to cut that last one. There we go. I could have also used my paper snips, but since I had the paper trimmer handy, we'll go ahead and fix that. Okay, now we're going to put this right here, okay? So we're going to put adhesive across here again. And right here. Now don't put this in this piece in the card just yet. You'll understand why here in a minute. So go maybe about 3/4 of an inch from the bottom. Put that straight across. Now we are going to use some ribbon. And we've got some ribbon to put on the outside of the card too. I've got a 5 1/4 inch piece and a 4-inch piece. The 4-inch piece is going to go on the outside. So we'll kind of put that over to the side right now. Now, this is why I'm using Seal Plus. If you looked at my blog post, you saw this in the supply list. I want to just put this right across here. And Seal would probably be okay, but I know this Seal Plus is going to hold it down a lot better. So I'm just going to put some right across the middle. Just, oops, that one went up a little high, but I think we're going to be okay. Definitely make sure you have one on each end. Then I'm going to put this across. And I'm going to show you a little trick because this might be a little longer than what I need. That's what happened when I made my first one. And see, I'm okay that it went a little wider because this ribbon is wide enough it covers it all up. If I weren't, can kind of take it off with my thumb. If you've got these adhesive removers, because I do think I feel a little bit right there, you can do that. Okay, so that's ready to go. Now, this actually worked out pretty good. I took my paper snips because I had some hanging over with my original card and just took them off. So it was real easy to fix that. Now I'll just use my regular seal. If I can get it wheeled. There we go. When they get to the end, you have to wheel them, get them started every once in a while. Well, you know what? Are we at the end? Nope. we're good. I think I'm going to have just enough to get this card done. Okay, so I'll bring the card base back in. We're going to put this right here in the center. Okay, and that is going to hold our easel in place. Isn't that cool? And it decorates the inside of our card. And there's even room if you want to sign your name down here and do a little message up here and sign your name here. You could do that. You can do whatever you want. That way when they open it up, they can see your name down here. Or you can just put it all up here because there's still plenty of room. Okay, now this 4-inch piece, I thought this pine cone needed a little something. So we're taking a 4-inch piece here. We'll just tie it into a single knot. Okay, real easy. And I wanted this to be kind of short. So I'm going to take my scissors and cut these at an angle. So I could have probably gone with this little smaller piece, but having it 4 inches made it a lot easier to cut. And then I'm going to spread these, kind of fray this at the end. Another thing I like about this ribbon, it looks pretty without frayed. So if you like the way this end looks better than you do this end, you don't want to fray it. But that's the look I was going for. So just take your fingernail, and even if you don't have much, because I don't have much of a fingernail right now. There we go. We've got those ready to go. Now I'm going to grab my glue dots, put one on the back of the knot, like so. And we will just put this right here on top of our, actually, I like it better. Thankfully, I didn't push it too hard. I like it better angled up, but you do whichever way you like. If you like it going down, do it that way. And now we are done with week 11 of 12 weeks of fall and Halloween. So I hope you liked that. And it didn't take long to make it all. And somebody can just put this on their table. And this would be a good thing to do for, I just thought of this. I didn't think of it earlier. If you like to do little name plates, or not name plates, but name tags, I can't remember what they're called, at your tables, you could do this as that and just put their name down here and have a little greeting on top. That would be something they could take it home with them. So I just thought of that. So that's definitely a good thing you could do with that. And of course, send it like a card. So I hope you enjoyed this week's project. Next Friday should be the last one. Hopefully I'll be on time with it this next week. I try to get them uploaded between 3 and 4 p.m. Eastern time on Fridays. And next week will be the last one because it'll be at week 12. And it will be another fall one because I think it's too close to Halloween now. You're probably getting all your Halloween stuff done. So we're going to finish up with Halloween. And then I plan to have some Christmas videos coming up really soon. I'm ready to start making some Christmas cards. And if you'd like to stamp along with me again, please make sure you subscribe to my channel and click that subscribe button below. And then when that bell icon pops up, make sure you select all. That way YouTube will notify you every time I do a video. And if you live in the United States and do not have a demonstrator of your own, I would love to be yours. And if you don't have the catalogs, which you probably don't since you don't have a demo, I would love to mail out your first set for free. This is the annual catalog, and this is the July to December mini catalog where the stamp sets and the embossing folder and the ribbon all came from today's card. And just click that contact me link below and send me your mailing address, and I'll send your first set of catalogs out to you for free. Okay, I'll show you the card one more time. I really hope you had fun making this with me. I know I loved making this card. I love fall cards. They're so pretty. Fall colors are my favorite. So I hope to see you in the next video, and please support my channel by giving me a thumbs up or commenting below. I really do appreciate it. See you in the next video, guys. Bye.